Soft morning light filtered through the narrow slits above Trevor's bunk. The ship hummed gently, a steady, familiar vibration that felt almost comforting after the oppressive tension of Outpost 12. Trevor lay still for a moment, letting the quiet settle around him. For the first time in days, Trevor woke without a jolt. No shadows in the doorway, no pulse of fear in his chest, no sense of being watched from the inside. Just quiet. He sat up slowly, stretching his shoulders. His hands were steady. His breath was calm. Trevor blinked, surprised by the stillness in his own mind.
Maybe the medicine works.
He swung his legs over the side of the bunk and froze. A small piece of folded paper lay on the table beside him. Neat, deliberate, placed with intention. Trevor frowned. He reached for it, unfolding it with careful fingers. 4 words, written in a hand that wasn't his. "My name is Daniel." Trevor stared at the note, confusion tightening his chest.
Daniel?
He looked around the room, as if expecting someone to be there. No one was. The ship hummed. The lights flickered softly. The quiet held. Trevor swallowed.
Who?
He slowly folded the note again and slipped it into his pocket. He didn't know what the name meant, and who had written it. Had someone been in his quarters? It suddenly felt as if the room had shifted around him. Trevor stood, took a steadying breath, and stepped into the corridor. The sky above Outpost 12 still held the bruised violet of fading dusk. The last of the fog drifted low across the platforms like thin smoke, clinging to railings and machinery. Lamps flickered to life along the walkways, casting long, cold reflections across the metal. The handler, Carl, stood beside a small, unmarked shuttle. No insignia, no registration, just matte metal and purpose. The vessel was an extension of him, discreet, precise, unreadable. A ship that told everything and nothing at the same time. It was the kind of craft used by men who didn't need to announce their authority. Men whose authority was understood. Carl inspected the shuttle with a slow, methodical glance, as if confirming that every bolt, every seam, every shadow was exactly where it should be. One of his escorts approached, boots clanging softly against the metal.
Sir, Evangelina cleared atmosphere less than an hour ago.
Carl didn't turn his head. He had watched the ascent himself.
They're running.
Orders?
Carl finally looked at him. A small movement, but enough to make the escort straighten.
Follow, discreetly. No syndicate eyes.
The escort nodded, swallowing.
Understood.
Carl stepped toward the shuttle ramp, pausing for a fraction of a second as he glanced up at the sky. The empty patch where Evangelina had vanished into the clouds. He didn't know what Evangelina carried, but he knew this. Crews didn't move like that unless they were hiding something. And Carl had never been wrong about a pattern.
Port Helix, of course.
A faint tightening of his jaw, barely visible, but real. The destination was too convenient, too aligned with Syndicate territory to be coincidence. And the Evangelina, with its quiet crew, its nervous deckhand, its sudden departure, screamed Syndicate. Carl stepped aboard without looking back. The shuttle's engines ignited with a low, predatory hum. He didn't need any more proof. The subtle shift in behavior, the tremor in a crew's routine, the silence between their movements. It told him everything. They were hiding something. The shuttle lifted, rising through the violet haze, its silhouette cutting a clean line through the deepening night. Silent, purposeful, hunting. It vanished into the darkness. The office was dim, lit only by the pale glow of floating holoscreens. Lines of traffic data, ship registries, and encrypted messages drifted across the air like silent ghosts. Port Helix pulsed outside the window, a sprawling industrial labyrinth of lights and shadows. A syndicate agent stood alone at the central console, hands clasped behind his back, posture immaculate. He watched the data streams with the calm, predatory focus of someone who had learned to read lies in numbers. A soft chime. An encrypted channel opened.
Contact. Vincent reporting.
The agent didn't react outwardly. He simply tilted his head slightly.
Victor here. Go ahead, Vincent.
Evangelina is carrying something from Outpost 12 to the hub. Carl departed right after them. No clearance.
A pause. The agent's eyes narrowed by a fraction.
Define something.
They're hiding it, even from us.
Victor exhaled slowly through his nose. Not frustration, but confirmation. He stood still for a moment in silence.
So Carl is shadowing a freighter into our territory.
Indeed.
The agent tapped a control. The holoscreens shifted, highlighting Evangelina's projected arrival corridor.
Understood. Return to silence.
Copy.
The channel closed. The agent stood still for a moment, letting the information settle into place like pieces of a puzzle he had already begun assembling. He activated another secure line. A voice answered, calm, authoritative, distant.
Victor, report.
The Mafia is moving something through our space. Carl is acting off protocol, and they are utilizing Evangelina. They are inbound tomorrow.
Are you sure?
Positive.
If the Mafia crossed our borders without notice, the stakes are high. We'll be ready.
Understood.
The agent ended the call. Moving anything across borders without consent was an act of war. Victor turned back to the window, watching Port Helix pulse like a living organism.
Let them come.
The engine room hummed with a steady, familiar vibration. Trevor stood over an open panel, tools arranged neatly beside him. He wasn't really working. Not yet. He was staring at the wiring without seeing it. The medicine had quieted his mind. Too much, maybe. The silence inside him felt unnatural now, like a room where someone had just left. Trevor slipped a hand into his pocket, feeling the folded note between his fingers. He unfolded it again, just long enough to confirm the words were still there, still real, still impossible. My name is Daniel. He refolded it quickly as footsteps approached. Cullen stepped into the engine room, wiping grease from his hands.
You're in early. Everything all right?
Trevor forced a nod.
Yeah, just checking the stabilizer junction.
Cullen glanced at the open panel.
That's the climate control system.
Trevor froze for half a second.
Right, yeah, I meant that.
Cullen studied him, not suspicious, just concerned.
Harry, you sure you're getting enough rest?
Trevor hesitated, then tried something.
Did you leave something in my room this morning?
Cullen blinked.
Like what?
Trevor shrugged, trying to look unconcerned.
I don't know, just thought I found something I didn't remember putting there.
Cullen shook his head.
Nope, haven't been near your quarters.
Trevor nodded, pretending that was the answer he expected.
Take a break if you need one. You look distracted.
Trevor forced a smile.
I'm fine.
Cullen didn't believe him, but he let it go. He left the engine room. Trevor exhaled slowly, then closed the panel and stepped into the corridor. He didn't have a destination. He just walked. Ben was checking inventory, scanning crates with a handheld device. He didn't look up when Trevor entered.
Need something?
Trevor hesitated, then tried again, more carefully this time.
Did you see anyone near my quarters this morning?
Ben finally looked at him. His eyes were sharp.
Why?
Trevor shrugged, trying to look casual.
Just thought someone might have left something by mistake.
Ben's expression didn't change.
What kind of something?
Trevor's pulse quickened.
Just a note. Nothing important.
Ben stepped closer, lowering his voice.
Harry, who do you think left it?
Trevor forced a laugh.
No one. Forget it.
Ben didn't blink.
Right.
Trevor backed away, suddenly uncomfortable. He rubbed his forehead, trying to steady himself.
I think I need a drink.
Ben watched Trevor's back as he left the storage bay. The galley was warm, lit by the soft yellow glow of overhead strips. Pamela stood at the counter, chopping vegetables with quick, practiced motions. A pot simmered quietly on the stove, something simple, comforting, the kind of meal crews relied on during long transits. Trevor hovered in the doorway for a moment, unsure how to start. He had asked Cullen. He had asked Ben. Neither had written the note. Neither had been near his room. That left one person, the one he trusted most, which somehow made this harder. Pamela glanced over her shoulder.
Hey, you hungry? It's my turn today.
Trevor stepped inside, trying to look casual.
Smells good.
Pamela smiled faintly and went back to chopping.
Give me 10 minutes and it'll be better.
Trevor nodded, then hesitated, fingers brushing the folded note in his pocket.
Did you happen to leave anything in my room? Like a note or something?
Pamela stopped chopping. She turned slowly, brow furrowed.
A note? No. Why?
Trevor shook his head quickly.
Nothing. Just thought I misplaced something.
Pamela set the knife down and stepped a little closer, studying him with that warm, perceptive gaze that always made him feel exposed.
Harry, if something's bothering you, you can tell me.
Trevor forced a smile that didn't reach his eyes.
It's nothing. Really.
Pamela didn't believe him. Her worry deepened. Not dramatic, not intrusive, just a quiet tightening around her eyes.
Okay, but I'm here.
He nodded, swallowing. Trevor stepped back toward the doorway. He had hoped for an answer, a slip, a hint, anything. But Pamela hadn't written the note. None of them had. Pamela watched him go, her expression softening into something like concern, and something else. Something she didn't have a name for yet. Trevor slipped out of the galley, the folded note burning like a secret against his leg. Out in the corridor, he leaned against the wall, breathing slowly. He believed them. By reflex, he pressed a hand to his chest. Where the other presence used to be, there was only stillness and no answers. Trevor sat on the edge of his bunk, staring at the small notepad and pen on the nightstand. The same pen he always used, the same notepad he scribbled maintenance notes in. He had checked the handwriting twice, compared it to his own, compared it to the crew's. The letters were too neat, too deliberate, too unlike him. With a heavy sigh, he unfolded the note again. He stared at it in silence. A soft knock on the open doorframe. Pamela leaned in, wiping her hands on a towel.
Harry, dinner's ready.
Trevor looked up, hesitating.
Pam, can I show you something?
Pamela stepped inside, closing the distance between them. He hesitated, then held out the note. She took it, brow furrowing as she read.
What's this?
Trevor swallowed.
It was on my table this morning. I didn't write it.
Pamela looked at him sharply.
Then who did?
Trevor shook his head.
I don't know. I thought maybe one of you. But Cullen didn't. Ben didn't. And you.
Pamela handed the note back, shaking her head. Trevor looked at it again, reading it out loud in disbelief.
My name is Daniel.
No, this is too weird for me.
She reached out and gently closed the door behind her. She stepped closer, lowering her voice.
Harry, if something's going on, you need to tell me. This isn't normal.
Trevor forced a smile.
It's nothing. Really.
Pamela didn't believe him. Ben stood halfway down the corridor, pretending to check a wall panel. He wasn't checking anything. He had heard enough. Trevor's voice, muffled but clear.
My name is Daniel.
And then Pamela's tense reply.
No, this is too weird for me.
Ben froze. He didn't know who Daniel was. He didn't know why Harry was saying the name like it belonged to him. But he knew one thing with absolute certainty. Harry wasn't Harry. Ben stepped back into the shadows as Pamela closed the door fully, sealing the conversation inside. He stared at the metal surface, jaw tightening.
I knew it.
He turned and walked away, conclusions already forming. Wrong, but powerful ones. Pamela sat beside Trevor on the bunk, her expression softening.
We'll figure it out, whatever this is.
She realized, with a quiet certainty, that whatever hid under Harry's surface was probably an ocean deep. Trevor nodded, but his eyes drifted to the note again. He didn't know who Daniel was. He didn't know why the name felt familiar and foreign at the same time. And the silence inside him, the silence where the other presence used to be, offered no answers. Trevor folded the note carefully and slipped it back into his pocket. A breath, a tremor of doubt. In his mind, he asked himself,
What did I miss?
Pamela laid her hand on his knee, gently pulling him back to the room.
Come now, dinner's ready.